Lagging.
Back Cecilia, welcome. I love your videos.
Cool beans. All right.
All right, everybody.
Yeah,
Well, hello and welcome to Biscuit University Radio, a podcast exploring Fantasy Flight Games' Arkham Horror, the card game. I'm Dane.
I'm Ben.
I'm Harrison.
We forgot Dan's not here.
Dan's taken a momentary leave of absence. But yes, welcome everybody to the second most exciting part of our art week. I hope you've been enjoying all of the wonderful splashes and everything that Harrison and Ben have been throwing up. Today, we've been given the pleasure of spoiling 4 cards from the upcoming Edge of the Earth campaign with all of you.
Yeah, the investigator box, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harrison, you gotta make a clever joke. That's what Dan's job is. You gotta transition us. You gotta transition us smoothly into the cards.
I'm not as cynical as Dan is, or a master.
Or as Californian.
Nah, that's fine. Let's just look at the first card.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Dane, you want to read it?
Yeah, let's do it. Give me one sec. The first card is Brand of Cthughes. It is a multi-class card. Welcome back. As we've seen in this set, there's going to be a bunch. This is a level 1, 2-cost asset for Guardians and Mystics. It has 1 combat icon, and it's a spell. It takes up a spell slot, uses 6 charges, and it has action fight. You may use will instead of combat and get +1 skill value for this attack. If you succeed, spend 1 or 2 charges. Instead of a standard damage, this attack does 1 damage for each charge spent. If you succeed by 0, lose 1 action.
And it takes up a arcane slot. And so, yeah.
It sure does.
I don't know. Well, so first off, we've been focusing a lot on the art. The art on this is pretty sick.
This art is hits it out of the park from Michelle. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. But yeah, no, it looks great. This is an interesting card, and the first people that I was thinking about it for was like Sister Mary or
Diana.
Yeah, Diana. Well, Diana would only have. Oh, I guess she could use her will
because she could start off using her combat with it and transition to will as she builds it up.
Yeah, exactly, and then smacking things later for big will. The interesting thing is that instead of a normal weapon damage, you spend the number of charges that you want to do up to 2. Mm-hmm. So this isn't a weapon a weapon per se, but it also will only do the damage of the charges that you spend. So if you want to do 2 damage, you have to spend 2 of its charges each time to do that.
Yeah, so if it's going to be as efficient as a regular like level 0, level 1 weapon, you got to spend 2 charges at a time. But because it's charges, I think there's a lot more ways to get charges back than there are
hell yeah
ammo, at least definitely in Mystic if you're using this as a Mystic character. So
exactly, yeah. And I mean you could commit like vicious blows and stuff to this too, which is kind of neat for the Guardian folk.
And you get to decide how many charges you want to use after you've succeeded. So like if you do have some weird card shenanigans, you could play around with that. I don't know.
Yeah. It is weird that you lose an action and you succeed by 0. I guess that's supposed to be the Mystic penalty part of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That is.
If you hit that on your last action, though, it doesn't matter, right?
Right. So you could play around that a little bit. Like you could use this as your secondary weapon if you want to blast for 2 charges. It's also nice because it's if you want to like kill something that has like 3 health or something, you don't have to waste like a full bullet on it or whatever. Yeah. You can still get the +1 fight to hit.
Yeah, I do like it doesn't use a hand slot. So if like you are trying to shuffle around like guns or like machetes or whatever, then you don't have to worry about it because a lot of investigators don't need that slot.
It's also cheap. Like it's only 2 to play, compared to like Shriveling or 45 or other Guardian weapons or Mystic spells. So I think it definitely has some advantages. It's a interesting blend between the 2 classes to, do extra damage, but also have charges or whatever in a downside. So, and I assume there's gonna be an upgraded version because I think we've seen, we've seen Blur and an upgraded Blur. I'm
guessing it's gonna be
who spoiled the upgraded Blur.
Yeah.
Until the End of Time spoiled that one. So I'm assuming there will be an upgraded version of this that might be fun. It might let you spend extra charges, or you know, have more charges on it or something. I don't know, or do something weird. I don't know. There's lots. I feel like they're going for more and more weird but fun effects as we go deeper into the game's lifespan. So
yeah, I think just as a quick mention here, Lord Batboy in the chat saying this can still be activated at 0 charges ? I think no, because it says you must spend, if you succeed, spend 1 or 2 charges.
But you can do it without succeeding, like.
You
if you fail, you don't spend the charges. That's true.
I think you could activate it because it's not part of the cost. It just, if you succeed, you wouldn't have charges to spend.
So you could just have like 4 people, all 4 of you like commit vicious blows to it, and then
maybe
do 0 damage.
I can never remember what the rule is exactly for like when you're allowed to trigger something and when you're not. If the effect doesn't work or not. Like you can't play an event if the event's effect won't do anything. So I guess you can spend actions if the action by itself won't do anything. Like you can investigate a location that has no clues or whatever. So
for sure, yeah.
I don't know.
Cool.
But
yeah, I mean, I think that like none of this exists in a vacuum too, because there's going to be cool stuff going on with synergy, which we'll get into a little bit. So I mean, at least we have 2 representation of 2 classes.
That's true, and because what all the investigators are coming on Edge of Earth have the weird upgrade paths. This might be an option for as an upgraded weapon for like not Daniela, martial artist whose name is escaping me.
Lily.
Lily.
Yeah.
So, because she wants to use her spell slots anyway, she had some benefit from that, right? So.
It's true. Yeah.
All right. Anything else to say about the brand here, or should we go on to the next card?
No. Let's do it.
All right. You want to read this one, Harrison?
Okay. Sure. We have Gang Up. It's a event. It costs 3 and is 1 XP. It gives a will and a fist icon. It's a spirit and a synergy. Fight for every different class among cards you control. You get +1 combat and deal +1 damage for this attack. And I like the fluff. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. And they're doing something really mean to a ghoul.
I know. I kind of feel bad for that ghoul, honestly.
I couldn't tell what this is. I thought it was some type of were creature, but I guess the ghouls are pretty close. So yeah, I think that quote is some cross promotion with their Marvel LCG, right?
It is. You're right.
That's the quote from one of the Spider-Man movies, isn't it?
Or something? I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat will know.
I thought that was a quote from one of the Spider-Man movies.
Oh yes, that's right. There was Dan shared a Spider-Man gif somewhere.
Yeah. Oh
no.
Harrison, what do you think of this?
They let me out of the MUR basement every once in a while for cards like this, where I can talk about how much I love Lola and Versatile, and both of those things seem to work well with this. And I'm probably gonna get vlogged for saying this, but I mean, Lola could possibly deal what?
5, right?
6, right? Because base of 1
6,
plus 1 for each. Neutral doesn't count.
If you have all 5 classes, you get the 1 damage base and then the +5 damage.
So, and Lola would be controlling cards that aren't in the class that she selects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because her ability is like she can only activate stuff that's in her class, or play cards that are in her class, or commit cards. But she still controls everything. That's why she benefits from like passive effects. You know, like Leo or anyone that gives like a stat boost or whatever. She benefits from those all the time. So
yeah, so I'm excited to see like all of these synergies and stuff like that. It's too bad that Calvin loves spirits, but all spirits are usually so far have been events. So it's not like Calvin's getting stuff outside of his class.
This doesn't help Calvin much. I mean, obviously, if like someone's running like boxing gloves or whatever, they could help dig this up with that. Is there stuff at Spirit outside of Guardian and Survivor?
Yeah, I think spirits are generally events, right?
Yeah,
they're all events, so you can't.
They're not all events. There's the asset that you play that lets you like take damage off of people.
Oh yes,
the very good one for Calvin.
Solemn Vow.
Solemn Vow,
yes.
Yeah. Ward of Protection's out, but Anyway, but cards you control, they always have to apply stuff in play, so like events won't help you with it. No, this tempts me to try out Lola. I'm 95% sure that is why this new keyword was thrown in, because MJ said when we talked to her a couple weeks ago that she likes to upgrade underpowered cards by adding new cards. So
yeah,
I think that's what this is. I think that's why we saw like a million Calvin cards. Every card is a Spirit to boost Calvin and whatnot. So
the other thing too is that like all of the other multi-class cards count sometimes doubly for these, right? So if you have somebody like Zoe, for example, who can take 5 cards completely out of class, and you take like Tennessee Sour Mash or Grizzly Totem or something like that, that counts for two of the classes, right?
Yeah, it counts both. Yeah,
so really condensed way to include it and get it full power pretty quickly.
Someone in chat, I should know how to pronounce this. Mythical fetus, Midas, right? Yeah, Midas Touch, Midas Dreams. Said, point out that Carolyn can use this, because Carolyn has a lot of off-class access, just because of her weird deck building, where it's like horror. Stuff that horror, like she can get Liquid Courage and Peter, and she naturally has access to some Seeker and Mystic, so she could turn this online pretty easily and have a way to like do a big burst of damage when she needs to.
She can gang up on people but not use weapons.
Well, she uses her psychology to like convince people to gang up on someone for her, I assume.
There you go.
Or psychiatry, whichever one it is. Yeah, but no, I am tempted to try it out on Lola. I don't think it justifies versatile. That's crazy nonsense, Harrison. But you know, if you have fun with it,
double versatile so that you.
Oh no!
Fit up your. Because where are you gonna find all of the space for all of your synergy cards? This can't be the only one that like benefits like this. Like,
well, we had one other previewed. I forgot to look at it ahead of time. We had a Seeker one previewed that had some effect, like for every different class card you something. I don't know. So I assume there's gonna be like one for each, at least one synergy for like each class or something. So, which having that many cards means like, oh, you could actually have 10 cards in your deck that all do the synergy, and then be able to play off them or something. So I think it's neat. I like the art. I think is this an older art piece maybe from Call of Cthulhu?
Oh, maybe.
I feel like a lot of Patrick's stuff is from Call of Cthulhu, but I could be mistaken. But I like it. Just wailing on this guy. So all right, why don't we move on to the third card?
Let's get to the most traditionally busted cards.
Yeah.
Shall we?
So, I forgot to look up how to pronounce this. That's all right. I'll define it. Prophesiae Profana. It is the Atlas of the Unknowable. Atlas of the Unknowable. It's a 4-cost level 5 asset. Seeker asset, that is. Has 2 willpower icons on it. Item, Relic Tome. While you're not at the locus, you get +1 int and +1 agility, and you may ignore attacks of opportunity. Reaction: after the Prophesiae Profana enters play, choose a reveal location. That location is the locus until the Prophesiae Profana leaves play. Action: move any investigator to the locus, and it takes up a hand slot.
Somebody in chat with just the eyes, the crazy eyes.
I want to ask.
That's exactly how I looked at this. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I want to ask chat if they think Ben pronounced that right.
There's a.
Is that right?
Well, I was the one who got to read the card first, so therefore I think I get to define how it's pronounced forever. So.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Seeker balanced. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay. No, this is ridiculous, right? Like this is. Ignoring attacks of opportunity is absolutely insane. It's not even like non-elite attacks of opportunity. It's just like every attack of opportunity. So like weird stuff at like the end of the universe, like Yog-Sothoth or whoever's trying to slap you, doesn't matter.
You don't worry about enemies anymore. You can have a guardian with a safeguard on you, and you can just ignore them forever.
This is.
You got to kill them at some point, but this does seem pretty amazing to just not have to worry about like playing out the turns of like, oh, the guardian has to come save me from this monster immediately. It's like, I'll just get a bunch of clues, and they can do it when they feel like it.
Yeah, Silent Storm in chat. This is perfect for design scenarios. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
This is like you just set this there, and then if you're like Daisy or something, you get that free action. Or if you got Abigail Foreman out, you just send people back to the locus on command, including yourself. You can use it on.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
real cool.
If you don't care about the locus ability, I know that we were talking about this earlier. Like, if you just throw it in Luke's Wondrous Lands, then you just have the book and the feat and the topic of opportunities everywhere. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. So like, but I mean, there's also a lot of scenarios where there's like just locations you never go back to. So if you don't care about the teleport ability, then you just throw it on there and get the attack opportunity. But there's also lots of scenarios where you need to go to some nexus point a lot, or there's like crisscrossing across. Especially we saw lots of huge maps in Innsmouth where sometimes you had to double back because of like having to swim around in the caverns or whatever. So being able to throw a central location that is like the resign location, or some location you need to get to spend clues, or like where the boss is going to spawn or whatever, that could save a lot of actions.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was that other card that just got spoiled this week that is just like take 3 moves one at a time? Because that could be really. Would you be able? Would that be good? Like, you just like jam yourself to somewhere like the end of a train or something, and then. I'm trying to think of a scenario where this could just bust it the whole thing.
It has to be a reveal location.
Yeah, it has to be revealed. I don't know if this busts any scenarios straight up. No, that's not true. I bet there's older scenarios.
Oh no!
like
adding a paragraph to Luke text, right? Somewhere.
Yeah. No, like Carnival, like some of the old ones that are before all the movement cards are released. But all the movement cards kind of break some of those older ones. So it's fine.
Yeah. Carnival would be really great for this. You just appear at the Abbey or whatever.
Yeah. Or Blob.
I was about to say.
Or Blob, right? Blob has a huge map.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Lord Batboy in chat says it only cares if the Profana leaves play, not if the location leaves play.
Right.
So that was actually my next question. If you have a thing like Lost in Time and Space, for example, where the locations are like going back to the encounter deck or something like that, or being removed from play and then coming back, will it like track that memory and like remember that at the edge of the world, like that's still the locus location whenever you find it?
Pretty sure no. I'm pretty sure the game doesn't have any type of remembering rule like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like if something leaves, it doesn't remember stuff. So I don't know, it seems pretty powerful. It is 5 experience. It is 4 to play. But it's also a relic and a tome and an item, and there's a bunch of other cards that can help you get that stuff out faster and cheaper. So I don't know, very, very powerful. I don't know why the art is like a sextant on a boat or whatever, but because when we posted this, people thought it was like a survivor card for Silas. But I don't know.
Sorry, Silas fans.
Yes, yeah, unfortunate.
You get a ridiculously broken Seeker card.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we look at the last card?
Last but absolutely not least.
For sure.
This one's fun.
We give you Jeremiah Kirby, Arctic Archaeologist. This is a level 0 asset, Seeker asset. Costs 4 to play. Has a intellect icon. Is an ally, Miskatonic, and Wayfarer. You might remember him from Call of Cthulhu, if you ever played that LCG. You get 1+1 int static, and as a reaction, after Jeremiah Kirby enters play, choose even or odd. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Draw each card with a cost that matches the chosen option, and then shuffle the remaining cards back into your deck. Has 2 health and 1 sanity stat, and takes up your ally slot. This, when I saw draw 5 on this, I immediately got excited about this. Probably more than most of the other cards that I've ever seen.
How many even or odd decks have you built so far, Dane?
Dane's been preparing like all week, a lot of even or odd decks. I think he's going to post 1 or 2 of them after this. But
I'm very excited to share all these decks with you, because this takes me back a long time to a digital card game called Hearthstone, where there were some cards that benefited your deck for playing only evens and odd cards, but it was like you could only include those cards if you made only odd or even cards. And this is a little different, right? This is just it. you scale the benefit for the amount of hits that you get. And obviously these aren't gonna this isn't gonna hit every time because you also have weaknesses. Some of the signature assets that you put in maybe won't work. But I found quite a few cards, or rather investigators, that this works really, really, really well in. The fact that it gives the int boost in addition to that effect to a draw 5 effect seems absolutely nuts.
And skills, what are those? Just those wouldn't proc for these?
That's right.
They have no cost or null cost or something, so which is not even in this game as far as I can recall.
Right, exactly. But this works with so many cards. Like there are so many odd cards or even cards that you could manage to slip in with this. And I think that maybe for me it works more natively as calling even and making your deck mostly evens, because Jeremiah himself is even. So if you were to look it up and then find a Jeremiah, then you're almost 100% hitting. But a bunch of secret cards are 0, 2, 4, right? You've got like Hawkeye Folding Camera takes the place of I think the biggest loss is Magnifying Glass, but like Cryptic Writings, Cryptic Research, everything that costs 0. In addition, you get the card that Astounding Revelation doesn't have a cost, notably. So if you draw it with this, you actually shuffle it back, which is kind of cool. I don't know what cards that you would be using to search, like if you have like a Witten in your deck in addition to this or something like that. I thought that was kind of a neat interaction there with Jeremiah.
So you can draw your cryptic researches or whatever, get 9 cards, then do like a thrice damn curiosity and just die. Well, Jeremiah will suck some of that up.
Not that much.
Now
so
you're talking.
He is very squishy, so like he's definitely prone to any type of encounter card that like directly targets your allies. Like Circle and Done has that agility test one that like deals direct horror, so he might not survive very long fighting witches, but I don't know. I think this card's pretty cool. I think it's like a lot more interesting than like Milan or some other secret allies that are just like +1 stat, +1 passive ability, because it makes you, if you play this card, you're like, oh yeah, I definitely want to draw 5 cards off of this every time I play it. So it makes you have to make these deck decisions that are like, do I just try to have all evens? Do I just try to have all odds? And as you were saying, you got to kind of sacrifice off of it. I guess if you just play it without trying to balance your deck, then there's a decent chance it'll still draw you like 2 or 3 cards on average. You know, if your deck's roughly half and half.
I think you on average want to draw like 4. I mean, obviously you'd want to draw 5, but like at the absolute minimum, you'd want to draw 4, right? Because you've already got things that cost half this that draw you 3.
He's great because he gives you a book. He does his job after he draws your cards.
It's true. Yeah.
It is nice because like you compare against like is it Laboratory Assistant, though, that you play it and it draws you 2 cards and gives you like increased hand size or whatever. It's similar to that, where he just kind of has an instant effect and then kind of hangs out. But you'd like having him out for a while. He is obviously expensive to play, but that's like 4 money to draw. If you can get 4 or 5 cards out of it, that's a great trade-off. So
and he helps for the Miskatonic archaeology funding, right?
Oh yeah, he is Miskatonic
archaeology funding. Yeah.
So he ties into that. Does that mean Jeremy made himself like a professor? is that what?
Classic Jeremy. I love it.
Arctic. What is the subtitle class there? Arctic archaeologist. Okay.
We just need the MJ card that's like 3 actions win the scenario.
I feel like MJ's card wouldn't be that straightforward. I feel like it would be way wackier.
Something paradoxical.
It would involve more cats. I appreciate that because I think we determined that Jeremiah is more of a dog person than a cat person, right? Or not Jeremiah. Jeremy. Exactly. Jeremy is more of a dog person than a cat person. So I appreciate there's just like a bunch of dogs in the background of this. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, people in chat are saying, the 2 health is very relevant. There are some cards in like Circle and Done and stuff like that specifically target your allies for damage, and everybody knows that's your boy Milan's biggest downfall, or like somebody like Peter, right?
I mean, even in campaigns where you don't have those cards, Seekers tend to be lower on the health scale, so having a little bit extra health soak is definitely good. So,
yeah, no, I love this. I love the fact that like anything that could help, because they also, Seekers already have like disposable allies, yes, but also allies who love to be bounced with what's that card? Calling in Favors. So you could like Calling in Favors Jeremy back to your hand, throw in an art student to get a clue. Art student gets murdered, you don't care. Play Jeremiah again. You know, there's so many ways that you can draw a ridiculous amount of cards with Jeremiah.
Can you pull Jeremiah back with the Calling in Favors and pull out a Jeremiah? Does it have to be?
Yeah, you can do that.
Cool.
Yep, because you've taken them, you Calling in Favors, you pick it up first, so there's none of that unique ally nonsense stuff. So,
oh
wow.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see Comrade Sim in chat. Do we think that there'll be an odd or even sub theme? I would love that. I would love to see more cards that influence the way that you think about deck building. And this is just kind of an entirely new dimension, right? Because I don't think there are other cards that make you. Well, there definitely are, like Dark Horse and stuff like that. But this is a card, if it gets more ingrained as a mechanic, that you get to do this with, which is really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty excited. It's Art Week MUR, but it's spoiler week, I think, for the whole community. So there's a lot of community creators that are spoiling other cool cards too. I think we've seen at least 3 or 4 people have posted stuff already, and there's more stuff this weekend. So pretty exciting times.
Yeah, Danielle's getting spoiled soon too, right?
I think there's hints of Daniela being spoiled tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
There's a lot in store, and I'm pretty excited about it, because we've kind of been feeling the at least here in the States, in the United States, we've been without some stuff for a while. So it's exciting to be able to share this with y'all. And
my Circle and Done shipped. I think I'm gonna get it finally this week.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I mean, it would have been faster to order it from the UK apparently, because that's what you did, Dave, right? So
I sure did, because I couldn't wait. But yeah, so a note before we end off. I mentioned earlier that this is the second most exciting part of our art week. That's because I consider the first most exciting part being tomorrow's episode. Releasing tomorrow, we invited back MJ Newman and welcomed an incredible new guest, Arkham Horror art director Jeff Lee Johnson. So we're pretty excited to share that with you. If y'all want to tune in for a listen tomorrow, it'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. We had a really great conversation. So
they're wonderful folks. So again, everybody, thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning into this special spoiler minisode. With each of these cards spoiled now, what are you all most excited about using? Why is it Jeremiah? At least for me, anyway. It sure is.
I'm definitely going to take the challenge to do a Lola. I'm gonna put the versatiles even though she doesn't need it, and I'll show you. Things are coming up, Lola.
I'm excited for it. Will everybody come hang out with us on our Discord to discuss? Reach out to us on Facebook, Reddit, or Instagram, or email us at comments@mur.fm. If you really love our show and you want to get more involved, join us on patreon.com/Miskatonic University Radio to get access to exclusive Discord channels and other fun stuff. Or just leave us a nice review on your favorite broadcasting network. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for being here, folks on Twitch. Be safe, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. I'm going to wait until I see us waving on the stream, and then I'm going to stop it.
Okay.
Great. All right, there we go.